Welcome everybody to our Greene Acres. My name is Teresa. As we are getting our homes ready now for the fall and autumn season, I'm going to show you today in the video of how we can DIY and transform some easy thrifted and Dollar Tree items. We're going to make some inexpensive and easy decor pieces that we can use in our home for the fall season. I hope y'all enjoy the video and I hope you get lots of ideas and inspiration for your home. Okay y'all, let's get started making some fall decor. The first project I'm going to work on is going to be some scrap wood pumpkins. Now I'm taking some pieces of scrap wood that I found that we already had on hand, and these are some little pieces that we have cut off of something at some point, and I saved them. And I found them and I thought, you know what, these will make great little unique pumpkin stems. So I'm just going to go over each piece of my wood with some watered down craft paint. This is in the color of burnt umber, and you can get this at Walmart. I just put a little water in it, and you can water it down as much as you want, but I just went over all the boards with that. Then I'm going to go over with my candle wax. This is just a candle from Dollar Tree. That way, when I put my paint on, it will distress really well. Now, I've got a new paintbrush, and I'm going to leave a link to it down in my description box. But y'all, this right here is a game changer. This is the Klingon, and I think the number on this one is 30. It's a medium-sized brush, but it is great for my DIY projects. I've been looking for a very good brush to work on my projects with, and this one right here did not disappoint. Now I'll just go over it with a plastic scraper. I'm using a Pampered Shelf scraper, and then you can see how that paint just lifts off after adding the candle wax. So I distressed each board just to make them look real rustic and distressed. And once I got them distressed, now I'm going to show y'all some new mesh stencils I got. And I'll also have my affiliate link where you can purchase the brush. You can also purchase these mesh stencils. They come on a sheet, and there is several different designs. And these designs, I love every single one of them. So I'm just going to use 4 of them. I'm just going to peel them off the backing, and that's all you do. You just peel them off. You can cut them apart, and then I'm just going to place them on each one of my boards in the center. Now, I'm going to go over mine with some Waverly ink chalk paint, but you're supposed to be able to use any kind of paint you want to with mesh stencils. I'm going to use a scraper that I have, but you can also use a foam sponge brush to apply these stencils, but you cannot use a stencil brush because you're not going to have good results. So just make sure you go over each one of your stencils really well. Make sure they are stuck to the base of your project really well to avoid bleeding. Now it's best to go, I feel like, in the same direction with your paint and your scraper if you can. As you can see, I'm not doing that because the way my scraper is, I've just ordered a new scraper, and I think it's going to work a little bit better. This one's just a little bit awkward made. I just don't like the shape of it. But anyway, it did not bleed. It adhered really well because my stencil was adhered really good. So that's the trick to avoid bleeding. Just make sure it's stuck down really good. So then I just did the little board with this one, and I think this one will just fit perfect on this little piece of wood. And then I did this one, and like I say, I love each one of these stencils. Each one is so pretty and so detailed. Now with a little bit of hot glue, I'm just going to attach my little pumpkin stems, and I wish I could remember what we cut these off of, but I cannot. But anyway, this just goes to show, don't throw anything away. So now I'm just going to take a little strip of burlap fabric ribbon I got at Dollar Tree, and this is some hula skirt raffia. I just stained it in coffee, and a little bit of black and white checked ribbon also. Now I'm just going to tie it really tight in the center with some twine, and that's going to make a really cute little bow embellishment for each one of my pumpkins. And I'm going to make this for each one, and I'm just going to trim up the raffia as I need to. And then I'm also, when you see it staged, I'm just going to add in a little burlap flower, and I purchased these at Hobby Lobby on the wedding aisle. And make sure to get them when they have that aisle on for half price. You can get them very inexpensive, but they make great embellishments. Now I'm going to show you another piece of scrap wood that I have, and I'm going to introduce you to another mesh stencil I've just received. This is just a piece of wood that we've had left over from home renovations. I think it's a piece off of our stair risers, and these make great pedestal risers. And all we're going to do is I'm going to do the same method. I just went over it with my brown craft paint that I added some water to, and then I added my candle wax, and with my great little Klingon brush. And like I say, I'm going to have this brush linked below for you if you're interested in going out and getting a really good paintbrush. And they come in different sizes. And then I just go over it with my plastic scraper. I distress it really well. And then just to give it a little bit more distressing and to smooth out, you know, my paint. And it had some rough spots in the center of the wood. So I went over it with a sanding block just to bring that out. So once I got my wood distressed the way that I wanted it, now I'm going to apply a really cute little fall stencil. And this one is called the Pumpkin Company. And it's got several different designs on a sheet. This is just the top part of the stencil. But I cut this part of the stencil off, and I thought it fit perfectly on my little pedestal riser that I'm working on. So I'm just going to apply this, and again, I just went over it really good with my scraper just to make sure it was adhered to my board really well. And again, I'm using Waverly ink chalk paint, but like I say, they say you can use whatever kind of paint you want. Now I'm just going around and I'm just scraping it on, but like I say, you can also use a foam sponge brush, and I did a previous video last week where I did some projects and I used the little foam brush, and it worked really well. I did have a few spots on this one where I did have some bleed through, but I did go in and I just got my white paint and I just kind of touched those up. Now I'm going to take these finial feet. I get these at Lowe's. They come 2 to a pack, and a lot of my viewers say they go out and try to find these, and I agree with them. Sometimes they're hard to find at Lowe's, and not all the Lowe's have these. But Hobby Lobby does sell a similar product, so always check at Hobby Lobby in the hardware aisle, and if you go when it's half off day for those items, you can get these very inexpensive. Now these were already painted white from a previous project, but now I'm just showing you how you can apply these feet to the bottom of this board, and we can have a really pretty little pedestal riser for the fall season. I just want to remind everybody to make sure you are following me on Facebook at Our Greene Acres. I come on over there just about every day with new content. I went live last week and did a couple of crafts for y'all. So it's a great way for me to get to talk with y'all, spend some time with y'all in a live setting. So make sure to go over and follow me on Facebook at Our Greene Acres. Now I want to show you how I made some really pretty beaded garland to display with my pedestal tray. You can take some wood beads. These came from the Dollar Tree, but I also have some linked to my Amazon store, and I think they are a better value, and they come in 3 different sizes. So I just took a variety of sizes that I had. I just went over them again with some watered down craft paint. I just set them up, let them dry. Now I got this hemp string from Walmart in the craft section, and I think it was around $3.50. So I'm just going to, take a large needle, and I also get this at Walmart in the sewing section. But I'm just going to string on my beads, and about every 9 medium-sized bead, I'm going to put a large one on, because I only had 5 large ones, but like I say, I did want to add them to this just to make it look a little chunkier. So about every 9 medium beads, I put on one of those really large ones. So I just kept going and you can make your garland as small or as large as you want. I just kind of went with how many beads that I had and how many I had stained, but I'm just going to thread them on until I get the desired length that I want. Now once I got it all finished, and you can see how varied the color of the stain is. Some of it I watered down more and some of it I watered down less. But if you want yours the same color, just go with it. Water down, the same consistency. Now I just took that hemp cord off that little card. I'm going to make a tassel. I'm just going to let them do the work for me. I just took it off that little card. It was already looped around, and I just tied it at the top really tight, and then I'm just going to cut across the bottom, and we're just going to make a cute little tassel out of that hemp cord. And this will be very inexpensive, and like I say, they did the work for us. They already looped it. So now I'm just going to go across the bottom, give it a really good little haircut, and then I'm going to take a comb, and I'm just going to go out and comb it and give it some frayed edges and make it fluff out a little bit more. And I did this on both sides. Now once you get it, frayed, make sure you trim it up again really good if you need to. Then I'm going to take another piece of the hemp string and I'm going to tie a loop across the top of it to form my tassel. And the tassel is that easy. Once you get your tassel made, then you want to secure your string around the top, and I just wrapped mine around a couple of times and then I just tied it really good in a knot. And you can also add a little hot glue to the back of it just to secure it a little bit better if you want to. Now I'm just went in, I trimmed up any little stragglers that I had at the bottom, and look what a pretty little tassel we made, and it was so easy. Now I'm going to make one for the other end, and I'm just going to do the same process. Just remove that hemp string, another section of it off the card, and then I just basically went in, did the same thing. I fluffed it out really good, and now we've got two really pretty, real easy tassels now to add to our beaded garland. Now I secured down the little tops to the back using a little bit of hot glue, and then I'll just trim those off. Now to attach them to the garland, I used the big needle again, and I just used some of the excess string that I had at the ends. Make sure to pull your beads, tight. And then I'm just going to go in, I'm going to loop it through the top of that little tassel. And you just want to keep sewing it, going in and out of different areas of the tassel. Just loop it on the best you can and get it on there as secure as you can. And that's all I did. I just kind of looped it around with my needle a couple of times, and then I went through the back and I just kind of tied it off in a knot. I trimmed off any excess that I had, and y'all, it's ready. It is that easy, and look how affordable this little beaded garland was. And I love beaded garlands, especially in the fall season, because I think they add just a great little wood texture element to our vignettes, and also I love the little rustic feel. Now using just a piece of scrap wood and that same Pumpkin Company stencil, I'm going to show you some other ways of how we can make some really easy and quick home decor for fall. The bottom of this stencil has some really cute pumpkins, and it's got some really cute little pumpkin sayings. So I'm just going to take this one pumpkin. It fit perfectly on this little scrap wood that I have, and I'm just going to leave my wood natural. I'm not going to paint it, but I'm just going to show you how easy these are to apply. You just peel it off the backing, make sure it adheres to your base really well, and then just get your sponge brush loaded up with, I use white chalk paint, and you've got a really easy little shelf sitter to set in your fall vignettes. Now I'm going to take another piece of scrap wood. I think this looks like a piece of pallet wood, and I'm going to take this little pumpkin patch. I love this one, and it fit perfectly, like I say, on this piece of scrap wood. So I'm just kind of giving you more options and ideas while I've got these pieces of scrap wood on hand. And like I say, I'm just using my sponge brush with some white chalk paint, and I'm just applying these. And this is just how quick and easy it is to use these mesh stencils. Now I'm going to take a little wood plaque. I think this come from Dollar General over in their craft section, and I think this was like $2 to $3. And I think they also sell these at Walmart. I'm going to use a stencil. This will be linked in my Amazon store in the stencil category. This comes in a pack for all seasons. So I'm just going to take this Hello Pumpkin. I've used this one quite a bit. And while I've got my sponge brush chalked up with some paint, I'm just going to, just throw out some signs and add these to my fall vignette. Now the next item is going to be a thrifted find. One of my Goodwill visits, I looked up on this really nice wooden crate. Now this was only $2.99. There is so many ways that we can display this in our home, but I'm just going to give you some styling options of how you can decorate it for the fall season. Another thing that I found out thrifting that to me just screamed fall was this little woven apple. Y'all, I love this little piece, and it was only $1.99. So this is going to add so much texture and just give my little vignettes more of a little rustic fall look. So just another item that I found at Goodwill for 99 cents. Again, we are decorating on a budget, and just things that you can keep a lookout for at yard sales and thrift stores to make your home pretty, but we don't have to spend a lot of money. Another item that I found out thrifting this week was this beautiful big metal key. Now, I love keys, so when I saw this, I absolutely grabbed it up. I think it was only like 99 cents, maybe 79 cents, but I went over it with a couple of layers of chalk paint. All I did was distress this just to bring back a little bit of that, black in it, and then I just added a really pretty ripped fabric bow, and now this is a great little piece that just adds detail to all your vignettes, and I can leave this out for fall. I can decorate with this just about any occasion.
Be right here with me. My mind is filled with pictures of when we used to dance, but now I don't know where you are. I missed you so bad.
Now I want to show you how we can take a Dollar Tree frame. We can add some paint to it and a free printable, and we've got a really cute little fall decor piece that we can set up on a tier tray or, just put it in our fall vignettes. First thing I did was I chalk painted with a couple of coats of Dixie Belle. The color is cotton. And then I'm going to take the IOD texture stamps. I love these stamps. This is some of my favorite stamps. These will add some texture to your projects if you want to give them more of a chippy, distressed look. This way you don't have to go in and do any sanding. You just get your ink pad out and just go to town on whatever kind of texture you want to give your project. So then I've got this free printable. This is something I printed out last fall. Y'all, I have a whole folder of things I've already printed out. So a lot of times I'll just grab my folder and I'll try to use what I've already printed out. But I made a candle project with this little graphic and I loved it. But it was a free printable, and I'll try to find it and link it down below. But you can add any kind of graphic that you want to yours. But I thought the little wagon with the pumpkins was so fitting, and I just wanted to show you how you can bump up a little Dollar Tree frame, give it a little paint and a little texture, and add a little free graphic to it, and we've got a great little decor piece for fall, and it didn't cost a lot of money.
I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of you. Wondering if you're thinking about me too. Now it's too late. Now it's too late. I'm out of time.
Now I'm going to show you how we can make some really cute and very inexpensive little donut pumpkins. I'm just going to take some aluminum foil, and this can be purchased at Dollar Tree because the thinner it is, probably the better for your crafts. And anytime you work with aluminum foil, always be careful and do not cut yourself. But I just rolled out some. What we're going to do is make a donut shape, and we just want to form it as we go. And I just tore off some, and then I'm going to make another roll, and I'm out of foil. But I'm going to make this work. This will be all I'll need. But you can make this as wide as you want it. But like I say, we're working toward a donut shape, because what we're going to do is we're going to cover it with fabric, and we're going to make a cute little pumpkin out of it. So once I got it formed, and your center is going to be large. Now if you want your center to be a little bit smaller, do another roll of aluminum foil and fold it up and put it up in there in the center, and that will add some filler to your center. But I'm taking some stained, coffee stained my flour sackcloth. I just cut it in some strips, and then I'm just going to go around and just add a little bit of hot glue here and there, and I'm going to wrap the little donut. Now you just want to go around and wrap it. And I usually, when I made these, I usually went around and wrapped mine a couple of times just to make it look like, it was full, and, it just had enough fabric on it. But you wrap it as many times as you want to. And the more times you wrap it, the more that center will fill up too. But I'm going to show you another one that I'm going to make, and I'll show you another little option for the center. But, I just went around, like I say, I just covered the whole thing with the flour sackcloth, and I just glued it once I started, and I just glued it once at the end. And if you need to trim up any of your ends, just do that. But you're not going to be able to see the center because we're going to add a stem to it. But these made such cute little pumpkins, and these I think would make great little centerpieces to put on your table setting. You could make one of these little pumpkins and put it on your dinner plate, and put somebody's, little name card on it. just a little special touch. Now that little stem come off, I think, a Dollar Tree pumpkin. I just added it. It fit perfectly in my hole once I got it wrapped. And I just scrunched up a little piece of burlap and ribbon, added a solo wood flower, and that's the way I'm going to embellish this one. But there's so many ways that you can go back and embellish these little pumpkins and get creative with your stems.
But I'm still thinking of you. My heart keeps on bleeding. I have scars, the ones not healing. They're all there because of you. It's my fault, I messed it up, and I should have treated you much better. So much better. I miss you so bad, won't you come back to me? I've got you in my head, you're all that I see. I've lost all my chances, I know that I am too late. I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you, wondering if you're
Now I'm going to show you another option on how to make the little donut pumpkin using a washcloth versus the foil. You just want to take an old washcloth that you may have on hand, and you just want to roll it and one side and then on the other side and meet in the middle, and that's all you got to do. And then just form your pumpkin. Now you want to take the ends that are a little bit thinner and just kind of want to make those work in together, and that will add, make it wider on that side where those were so thin compared to the other, so it won't be wonky. But anyway, just now add a little bit of hot glue and just start adding your fabric. Now on this one, I'm adding a little bit of drop cloth. Y'all know I always have this on hand, and I thought this would make a really pretty one, so I just cut some strips of drop cloth, and when using a little bit of hot glue as I start and I finish, that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to wrap this one. I'm going to wrap this one twice. I went back around it just to make sure, it looked good and it was full. And I think the more your drop cloth is frayed on the edges, I think the better it looks. It gives it more of a rustic look. Now once you get it all wrapped up, I'm going to show you an option of how to fill up the bottom so we can add some stuff to the center. Just cut out a little circle, add some hot glue, add it to the bottom, and now we got a little base. Now you can add things down in the center of it. Now I have some Spanish moss on hand. I'm going to stick some of that down in there. And one of my sweet viewers, she told me about okra stems, making great pumpkin stems. So we had some dried okra out on our plants this year because our okra didn't do well because of the, not a lot of rain and a lot of sun and hot heat. So I went out and got some of our dried okra stems and just giving you some more ideas and inspiration of how you can embellish and make some really cute little pumpkins.
but I'm still thinking of you. My heart keeps on bleeding. I have scars, the ones not healing. They're all there because of you. It's my fault, I messed it up, and I should have treated you much better. So much better. I miss you so bad, won't you come back to me? I've got you in.
I also want to mention before I end the video that in last week's video I featured this beautiful Luna leaf wreath candle holder, and y'all, it was a quick sellout. So I wanted to let y'all know I talked to Melissa this week, and she was able to reorder some more. So she got them, in the brown, and also she got more in the green. These were a total sellout, y'all. So these are going like hotcakes. So I'm going to leave the link for these down below. So please click on my affiliate link, because like I say, Melissa has just restocked on these. So make sure if you're interested in these to go over and get you some, because these are going to be great for the fall and the Christmas season for sure.
Tick tock, the clock keeps ticking.
Okay, y'all, we are at the end of the video, and thank y'all if you are still here. I hope y'all enjoyed the video today. I always like to bring along and give y'all some ideas of inspiration of things that, that I create through the week that I may have thrifted, or things that I may just have laying around my home, and how we can make some real inexpensive and easy decor pieces with them. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video today, and as always, I appreciate y'all, I love y'all, and I will see you next week. Bye, y'all.